What we're going to do now is work on adding some follow through to the head. At about this time, we could turn off our character set now, since we just want to really focus on our curves individually and their keys rather than all of our keys as a whole with our character set on. Okay, so let's even hide our curves and just hit play to focus on the head, and when we do, we can see that of course it's looking too stiff, so we need to loosen it up with some follow through. So let's go ahead and bring back our curves now, and we'll select our neck and head controls and go into our perspective and graph view and just focus on our rotate X uh, F curves right now. Hit F. And our first task is going to be to fix this flow here on frames 45 of the head and neck. So we'll just select the right half of the tangent handle onto one of our manipulators, translate or rotate, and just middle mouse button click and drag the right half to bring down the keys here to get a better flow. Alright, great. What we also want to do is delay some of our poses from the rest of the body. So like for example on frames 35, let's actually take this key, shift selected, and move it down to about 37 to delay it just a couple of frames. Okay, and we'll also delay these frames here so we could get some nice follow through afterwards. So let's select these keys from frames 45 to 55. We'll shift select them, and let's bring them down so that this first key now lies on about frame 54. Okay, so here's what we get now. And as the character's coming up, let's actually go to frame 54 and rotate his head up a little bit more in the rotate X. So we could just go to that channel and rotate both of our controls up at the same time. Excellent. So now if we check it out, hide our curves, and just focus on this area, we can see that we're getting some nice follow through now from about frames 54 to 64. Go ahead and bring our control curves back and select them. Okay, and scrub through slow to check it out too. Alright, great. So we've got some follow through here on frame 64, and let's continue with it. What we want to do now, remember, is offset the head, continue to offset the head from the rest of the body for its follow through. So let's say we go to about frame 80, and on frame 80, since we had the head move down here, let's have the head move up on about frame 80, and we don't want to move it too much because we don't want to create a bobblehead effect. Okay, we just want to add enough in there to get more of a realistic type of look. So on frame 80, let's go ahead and rotate the head up some. Alright, so here's what we get. Great. And then on about frame 100, we could go ahead and bring the head down. So let's do that just slightly. Okay, so when we scrub through, here's what we get. Now let's even do a play blast to check out our results. We'll hide our curves. We just want to focus on the head so we could get a nice close-up view of it and render one off. So how about from this angle here? Here it is. Alright, so that's looking pretty good, but we can make a few more fixes as far as exaggerating that pose a bit on about frame 80, and also having it hold in that pose for a little bit longer before it goes into the pose, interpolates into the pose on frame 100. So we'll go ahead and close out this play blast, bring back our control curves, the visibility of them, and let's select our head and neck control, go to our perspective and graph view, and we'll go to about frame, let's actually exaggerate this key on frame 64. We'll take both of these keys, hold shift and bring them up a little bit more. Okay, and then on frame 80, let's actually just take these keys and select the right half of the tangent handle, and we'll bring down the tangency sum. Let's get a better view in here so we can see the changes we're making. So we'll bring down the tangency sum to again have the head fold for a little bit longer before it actually goes into this pose on frame 100. And what we can also do is on this pose on frame 100, take down these keys a bit so they're not moving that, so the head's not moving that far down. Okay, so we'll take these keys, hold shift, and bring down these keys, because right now it's moving a little bit too far down. We want the head to be moving around, but not as much, because we're going for more of a believable or more of a realistic look. Okay, so we'll scrub back and forth to see if we like our changes. Alright, let's see how they look in a play blast. Again, we'll hide our curves and render off another play blast from about this angle. Here's our result. Excellent. Alright, great. So we can see by just adding a little bit of follow through how much we've loosened up the head, loosened it up a little bit, and really improved the animation by doing so, by adding that principle of animation of follow through. So throughout this kit, we're going to really see how the principles of animation are really going to bring our project to life. And we could already see the results already, but of course we have a little bit more work to do so we could get a really nice end product. Okay, but for now that does complete this lesson, and it wraps up our follow through for our head. And in the next lesson, our next task is going to be to work on the arms and hands.